Welcome back. What can we expect of oil prices if Israel and Iran continue to escalate? How could the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz affect oil prices moving forward? Also, why is gold and oil so interconnected when geopolitical tensions rise? And also, is gold the best protectionary hedge for that? I'm Eric Stepanek, this is Todd Graff, and this is the Gold Spot. Well, Todd, Israel, Iran, things are getting very hot. Missiles going left and right. A lot of geopolitical tensions and a lot of concern when it comes to that region. That region, as we know, accounts for a lot of oil, and that creates a lot of havoc worldwide, not just in this country. Now, maybe you can enlighten us on what the concerns are.
Yeah, Eric. I mean, right now everybody's watching to see what's happening because this is developing currently. So the main thing is oil. The rest of the world is watching and seeing how this is going to affect the prices of oil. And the analysts right now are predicting if this continues, if this is a prolonged conflict, we could see oil prices rise to as high as $100 to $130 per barrel. Right now, they're at about $74 per barrel. So that would be a huge increase that would affect the whole world, and it would affect all different economies. So it's very important what's going on right now, and everybody's kind of watching to see what happens.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, oil kind of has that sweet spot as we know. It's usually between 60, 70, $75 a barrel. Really where we're at right now is not a bad place for it to be when it comes to gas prices and how the actual industry itself works. But when you find yourself going up that $130 barrel per barrel level, we know that creates a lot of problems. So the Strait of Hormuz is something that we also want to talk about because this accounts for about 20% of all of the world's oil. It's not a huge passageway, but it is about 20 or 30 miles long. So it's big enough that it's very hard to try to shut the whole thing down. But the Iranians have definitely created havoc in that region in the 80s and 2000s. Over and over again, we've seen large disruptions of the actual oil trade, and that's always affected gas prices. With that being said, oil, those spikes, Todd, maybe you can enlighten us to why that makes such a big escalation with our inflation in this country.
Right. Yeah, because, the analysts right now, if we did see oil prices go to, I think as an example, if they went to $120 per barrel, okay, the estimate would be that would cause gas here in the U.S. to go from about $3.14 to about $5.13 per gallon. Okay, so that's going to affect everybody in the U.S.
And that's the nation's average?
Yeah, we're working with averages here, but everybody knows if we saw gas prices go up $2 per gallon, it's going to affect everybody individually, but that's also going to affect all the shipping costs. It's going to increase prices at the grocery store. Our economy relies on oil, so this would affect everybody. This would cause prices of everything to continue going up. So it would, that's the biggest fear, is that inflation, that we're already seeing a lot of inflation. This would just pour gas on the fire.
So why does oil and gold always seem to track each other when we see these times of peril? Maybe you can explain that to our audience.
Right, and it goes back to the 70s. I mean, the petrodollar agreement with the Middle East, the U.S., that's where we, kind of we backed our currency with oil. So and we've written reports about that are available as well if you want to learn more about the petrodollar agreement. But yeah, oil, gold, currencies in the Middle East have been interconnected for decades. And we've had warnings that there could be a major conflict like this, or a war that could break out. But I believe that those warnings are getting bigger. The time is coming where it's going to be a reality.
So gold, the safe haven product, is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like we talked about, is if prices of everything are going up, if inflation is continuing, you need something to hedge against that. Gold and silver, they've already been doing great. We've already seen huge performance gains, but events like this could cause them to continue going up, maybe even accelerate, start going up faster. For a lot of people, it's not about getting rich, it's about maintaining what they already have. It's about, protecting what they already have. That's what gold's going to help you do.
Insurance on your money.
Exactly.
So I think right now what we need to consider is how long this escalation is going to continue. And if you think it's going to end tomorrow, then it shouldn't be a problem. But if you think it's going to continue and go for years and years, and this is going to be something that's going to get hotter and hotter, then this is something that is definitely going to play a role, and not just like we said, not just this country, but the whole world will feel the impacts of this. So one thing that I think in closing here that we should also talk about is if you want to learn a little bit more about everything that we just discussed, click below and we do have a guide for you to take a look at. It's our gold and gas article. That's interesting. We also have the petrodollar. That is something I think everyone should know about because most people don't know about the petrodollar after we came off the gold standard, what that meant, what oil really meant to our currency and what it means to our currency today. Has a lot, you'd be surprised at how many conflicts have happened because of that. Something I think that everyone should be aware with. So is there any closing statements you have for us today, Todd?
No, I think right now it's important for urgency. If this is something you want to do, I would definitely take a look at it now because things are going to change quickly.
Last thing, in the next 5 years, can you see gold doubling again?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very possible with what's happening right now.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to sign off. We're going to wish you the best weekends, and we'll see you next week right here on The Gold Spot.
If you enjoyed today's Gold Spot, like or subscribe to both our YouTube and Rumble channels. Also, comment below if you have any questions or if you'd like to hear us talk about a specific topic in a future video.